Zombie apocalypse.
Hey guys, it's Liz. I'm actually gonna move over a little bit. Hey guys, it's Liz. So we're gonna be talking about my gastric sleeve surgery, like an update to my gastric sleeve surgery, how I'm doing, how successful was the surgery for you, and I will say that it is very windy out there, so I do apologize. Very, very windy. But I know that my process is a lot different than everybody else's. Some people had to go through the same process. Some had to do a little bit more. I know for certain people they have to do more testing before the surgery and do all this other stuff to make sure that they can go through the surgery and stuff like that. Now let's start from the beginning. I knew I wanted the surgery for a couple of years. I've tried everything, everything to try to lose weight. I've tried Slim Fast, I've tried Atkins, I've tried keto, I've tried the Weight Watchers, everything. I have tried everything, counting carbs, nothing worked. Nothing worked. Excuse me. I literally tried everything. But I knew I wanted the surgery, and he was okay with it. But we wanted to wait until we moved down closer to family, so that way he wasn't helping take care of me by himself, because I didn't want to put that on him, and he knew it would have been a little bit harder because he knew I wanted my family there, and I would have been miserable because I would have been in pain. So he wanted us to be closer to family because he knew that they'd be able to help me out with him. So we did. We waited till we moved down here, and we did wait until we were able to get health insurance, so that way the insurance would be able to cover the surgery, which they did, thankfully. But I want to say I started the process at the end of September, like the first week and a half of October is when I started this. And I'm actually gonna move over here. Ooh. I'm gonna actually move over here because I'm gonna put some pictures on the side of me. Well, I guess on this side because I'm clearing this side. But we started it like the very last week-ish of September, early first week and a half of October, because we wanted to see if we can get it done before the year ended. Because usually a lot of places, a lot of health insurances change their policies and stuff for, the people that they insure. So we wanted to get it done, and also the people that I went through. Now I went through a company that specializes in bariatric surgeries. It was recommended to me, so I went with them, and I will say that I will recommend them to everybody who wants to get this surgery. I will recommend them through and through. They were absolutely great. They were with me every step of the way. Every step of the way, they were wonderful. Even the doctor was absolutely wonderful. He had a great bedside manner. The doctor who did my surgery, he would explain into detail, what they're gonna do, how they're gonna do it, how long it normally takes, and he'll tell you that usually there's no issues with this surgery because I forget how he worded it. He's like he told us that there's really no issues with the surgery while we're doing it. So we were fine with that. But we didn't meet the surgeon until it was closer to time. But I knew the surgeon I wanted. There was two two doctors, I believe, that were doing the surgery at the time. I don't even remember my doctor's name. I have it written down. I just don't remember his name. I'm not gonna say his name. I'm not gonna actually say his name, but I'll give like Mr. A or Mr. M or whatever, or doctor. Which, where is his name in here? I don't even know. Yes, I do have a folder or a binder that they give you. I'm trying to find the doctor's name. Where is the doctor's name? Where's your name? Where's your name? No. Oh, it is a laparoscopic surgery, I might add. It is a laparoscopic surgery that will cut 3 to 5 little surgical incisions, which I will show you guys. And yes, you can still see my scars, but they are not as pronounced. I get it. Leave me alone. I don't know why my phone is going off. I can't find this dude's name. Why can I not find this guy's name? I swear. Alright, we're just going to call him Dr. F. My doctor, Dr. F. And then we're going to call the other doctor, Dr. N. I actually think that his last name began with an N. But they make, for the surgery is a laparoscopic surgery, and they make 3 to 5 small incisions on your stomach. Now, that I could have told you later on, but that is a key part in letting y'all know what they do. But when I started, it was the beginning of October, I think, because I think I saw a date in there for like 10/18. I had to go through 2 classes. One was telling you about the 2 different types of surgery. There was 3, I believe there was 3, but they ex-nayed the one. I can't remember the reasoning why. I don't remember if there was too many issues with it or it was just not working the way they had hoped. I don't remember the reason why they ex-nayed the band. But now there is just the gastric sleeve and the gastric bypass. The gastric sleeve is what I went through. And then the second class that I went to was a nutritionist meeting. Now, what they said that the 2 classes that I went through were crucial because you get to learn, first class you get to learn the differences between the 2, the pros and cons of each one, and then the second class is just basically learning nutrition facts, so that way you know how to stay healthy, how to keep on the path to healthiness. Because the last thing they want is for you to mess up and then you feel bad because you messed up and then you gain your weight back. They don't want that. They want you to succeed. They want you to be able to feel better for the rest of your life. So I went to the 2 meetings. I don't know if everyone had to do this, but I had to call, after the first meeting, I had to call my insurance, ask them a whole bunch of questions, and make sure that the surgery was going to be covered for me by the end of the year. And they said yes, that she'll be covered. She just has to get it done before the 31st, which I did. I got it done by the 31st. Fast forward to, I think it was like the very last week because of November, because I was a little butthurt that I had to start it like half a week early because my original surgery date was December 15th, and that is basically 2 weeks in. It's like a 2 weeks and 1 day into December, and he wanted me to start like 3 days early, which I had at the time. I had an issue with it because I was a fat person. I wanted fat food, and he put me on an all liquid diet, for 2 weeks. Now, the reason why he said that he wanted me to do this is he wanted to reduce the fatty tissue on my liver to help the process of surgery go good, because it helps reduce, how much they have to push aside in there to get to your stomach. So when I was talking to the surgeon, like, I think it was like 3 days before November ended, and he wanted me to go on an all liquid diet, and at the time I was 266 pounds. 266 pounds. I'm gonna actually make a note to put in a picture of my before and after license. But he wanted me to lose just a little bit more weight, a little bit of weight. And I personally didn't know how I would do that. Mostly because, like I said, I was a fat person who wanted food, just massively wanted food, and I would have done anything to do that. But for the sake of the surgery, I did what I had to get this surgery and make it successful. So I did cheat a couple of times. I will say that I cheated a couple times, but I still lost quite a bit of weight. Now, fast forward to December 14th, and like I said, my original surgery date was scheduled for December 15th. And the instructions they told me was the day before your surgery, between 2 and 5, the hospital that you're scheduled to have your surgery at will call you, and they will give you a time that you need to arrive and be prepared. They will give you a list of instructions on what to do and how to do it. Between 2 and 5 came and went. Around 5:30, I called the hospital and I said, hey, I was told that I was scheduled for a surgery tomorrow. Someone was supposed to call me between 2 and 5. It's 5:30. So they said, okay, hold on. So they put me on hold. I came back about 2 minutes, 3 minutes later, and they said, yeah, you're not on our surgery list. But maybe call the place that you're going through and tell them that they might have been a mix-up. You have no idea how upsetting it was. And I'm getting upset. You have no idea how upsetting it is to hear that your surgery wasn't even scheduled. Because my surgery wasn't even scheduled. And that day, it upset me so bad, because I had been doing this all liquid diet for 2 weeks, and you're telling me that my surgery wasn't scheduled. I was so upset. My dad felt so horrible because he watched me have to make that call and ask why my surgery wasn't scheduled, and he had to watch me break down in tears because it wasn't scheduled. I was so upset. My husband even felt bad. Oh. It's been almost a year and I'm still getting upset by that over a common mistake. And I can't even get upset with her. Oh, I missed the part. So when I said that everyone goes through different things that they have to go through before they get the surgery. Some people have to do an EKG or whatever for their heart before surgery. I didn't have to do that. The only thing that I had to do was an endoscope to make sure that I guess that everything down here in my stomach, in my intestines were just fine, which they were. So I was able to do that, and that happened in November. And that was actually the first time I went under general anesthesia. That was the very first time. My surgery was the second time. But yeah, fast forward to the 15th. I found out that I wasn't getting my surgery the 15th, and I couldn't call my place that was doing my surgery stuff. I had to wait till the next day because they were already closed. They had closed at 5 o'clock. I didn't know that. I was trying to call them. I wasn't getting an answer, so I had to wait till the next day. Now, mind you, I was extremely upset. And when I talked to the lady, she was apologizing profusely because she understood that I was upset. She could hear it in my voice. I was trying to hold back tears because you can hear my voice cracking because I was trying to hold back the tears. And she profusely apologized. Now at the time I was extremely pissed off. But I wasn't letting her know that I was pissed off. But now I understand mistakes were made, and I ended up realizing that a couple days later that mistakes do get made. I was not the only person she was trying to deal with for getting schedules for getting surgery scheduled. I realize that now. I realized that a couple days after, but that was after I calmed down. So come to find out, they had rescheduled. She had rescheduled my surgery as we were talking on the phone. She had put it in for December 19th. So fast forward the 18th. They're going to call me between 2 and 5. Now, I don't remember when I was supposed to be in there. I think we got in there around 10:30. But they had called the day before, told us where to go, what hospital to go to, and all of that. So December 19th comes. I am nervous as all nervous can be. Mind you, this is my first surgery, to my knowledge anyway. My first surgery, my first major surgery, and obviously it's my first time going under general anesthesia. I guess it is. 'Cause my mom's never, I don't remember any surgeries. My mom's never told me about any surgeries, other than removing that thing up here, like under your lip, like this little thingy under here. That was the only thing that I've had surgery to remove, because it was like all the way down here. Like it was literally all the way down to the ends of my gum. And that's the only thing I remember getting, having like a guy cut that off because it wasn't letting my two front teeth grow. That's the only thing I remember having, like any type of surgery. I guess it's a surgery. But at the day of surgery, I was, I believe, 255 pounds. So I had dropped about 11 pounds. No, yeah, 11 pounds before surgery. And I was actually surprised. I didn't feel like I lost any weight, but I was surprised to find out that I did. And like I said, I was extremely nervous. I was so nervous. But the surgeon, he came in and he asked me how I was doing. He could tell I was nervous. My blood pressure was a little high. It wasn't that high. I think it was 190/85 or something like that. So it wasn't a high, but it was just a little out of the normal, just a little. So they could tell I was super nervous, which is understandable. Basically, my first surgery. So the doctor came in, explained everything on how it was supposed to go, how it was going to go. Now, I will tell you that I was seeing people from my classes for the surgery. I saw 3 of them at the hospital the same day. Now, like I said, there was 2 different doctors that were doing this surgery, so I don't know if they had requested the doctor I was using or they requested the other doctor. But I know he had one surgery before me, and I don't know if that was gastric sleeve related. But like I said, I was getting the gastric sleeve. Now the gastric sleeve is a lot different from the bypass. The gastric sleeve, what they do is they will take the inside of your, like the inside stomach part, they will take about 80, I think it's either 80 or 85% of your stomach. And the part of the stomach that they take out is the part of the stomach that releases, I think, a hormone that tells you when you're hungry and you're thirsty. And no, I think it's just when you're hungry. I don't know if that hormone tells you if you're thirsty or not. But they remove that portion. And they remove that portion. They send it off for biopsy to make sure that you knew you weren't sick with something in the stomach or anything like that. Mine was perfectly healthy. I don't know if every place does that, but I know my place did. But my biopsy came back that my stomach, there's nothing wrong with my stomach. But I think that the reason why they do that is probably they've had previous cases where somebody did have issues, or that was just they've always done that. But I know that some people have. I think my dad said that when he got his surgery, they ended up finding like a tumor on his stomach that they had to remove. So the surgery took a little longer than they wanted. But the gastric bypass, I believe, which is exactly how it sounds. It's bypassing your stomach, and I'm going to tell you how. The part of your esophagus where your stomach connects to, they will put a 2-ounce, I think a 2-ounce bubble or bucket or whatever at the bottom of your esophagus, I think. And that's where your food will go. I think it takes a little bit longer to digest your food on the bypass than it does the sleeve, I think. And then they will detach your stomach from your esophagus and attach your lower intestine to your esophagus, bypassing your stomach. And I think she said that they don't take your stomach out, they leave it there because your stomach still has blood flow and it's still connected to, I guess it's still getting blood flow, so it's just in retirement. I think that's how they had said it was your stomach's now in retirement. But like I said, I did the sleeve, so they cut off most of my stomach. Now, I don't know if the bypass is laparoscopic as well. I know that the sleeve was laparoscopic. Like I said, when I first started, I was 266 pounds. The day of surgery, I was 255. By the time they finally wheeled me back, some of my nerves had calmed down, but I was still nervous. I was still very nervous. I'm gonna disconnect this cord. But I was still, they could tell I was still nervous. They had checked my blood sugar. My blood sugar was 88, which they did that because I was borderline diabetic as well before surgery. So they checked my sugars. I am no longer borderline diabetic, even though I have issues with keeping my sugar up. So I have to eat sugary stuff, which I don't eat sugary stuff a lot because what they call dumping syndrome is a thing, which I will get into that later. But the last thing I remember is telling the anesthesiologist. I don't know if she was the anesthesiologist or the nurse that was helping, but I was like, good night, I'll see you when I wake up. I remember telling her that. She's like, good night, sweetie. But she was great. She was very nice. Is it still raining? Sorry, it is extremely windy out there and it sounds like it's raining, but it looks like the sun is out, so that's why, so I don't know. And I remember waking up in the recovery room, and I think I was the only one in there at the time. I don't remember what time it was. I couldn't keep my eyes open to save my life. No, I think I did for a couple minutes, because she was asking how I felt. Did I feel any pain? Was I extremely nauseous? All that. I don't remember being in a lot of pain. I think they still had me, doped up on pain medication. Obviously, I was still feeling the effects from the anesthesia, and I was going to feel that for a good couple hours. I I do remember waking up, and they said, let's transfer you from bed to chair, because they were going to wheel me to my room that I was going to stay in until I left. So I was leaving recovery room, and I went to my own private room, where my husband met me. And I remember being happy to see him. And they don't want you using your, like, when you go to sit up, they don't want you pushing up with your arms. They want you using your legs, because you don't know how much stomach muscles you use when you do that. When you push up with your arms, they want you to just mostly use your legs the whole time. So they wanted me to try to sit up, to stand up, so that way I could transfer from their wheelchair to the recliner that they had. So I did, and I went to go like this. She said, no, just use your legs. So mind you, at this point, I was feeling a little discomfort. I wouldn't say pain, I would just say a little discomfort. So me trying to stand up took a couple of minutes, because she didn't want me to use my arms, which I'm used to using my arms. I'm used to going like this and pushing myself up. I couldn't do that. So I had to slowly push myself to the edge of the chair and help myself up. Now, my husband tried to help, but he could only help so much, because he would have helped pull my arms up, and that would have hurt. But I was able to transfer, and I think for the next good couple of hours, I was in and out of sleep. I couldn't keep my eyes open, just in and out of sleep. Time to me was just not there. Like, I was not paying attention to time. I didn't know if it was still daytime, nighttime, whatever. I do remember waking up. My husband had brought in food. Like, he didn't want to leave me alone. He went downstairs to the cafeteria, got food, and he brought it back up. I remember waking up and wondering what that god-awful smell was. It was chicken, and I think like beans or something, or some kind of green bean. Mind you, chicken, I like chicken. I like chicken before surgery. I like chicken now. But to me, the smell of that food at that time was absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. The smell of it made me sick to my stomach. But I wasn't going to tell him that. And mind you, I couldn't even keep my eyes open still. So by the time I woke up again, he was already done with his food. And he fell asleep. He was tired. So the requirements were for me to drink, I think it was 2 cups of water and 2 cups of protein, and hold them down. I had to walk up and down the hallway 3 times. 3 times. And I had to be able to go pee. I did all of those things. And the gastric surgery, the gastric sleeve, it was an outpatient procedure. And I think the bypass is the same thing, is the outpatient surgery. I'm moving over this way because pictures go here. But since I did all of those, I was able to go home. By the time we went home, it was by the time we were able to leave, it was 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning. and it was a 30-minute drive home. And my parents had to leave to go get my niece from the airport. So we were able to get home before they left, and they could tell I was just so out of it. I was still out of it. I was in some discomfort, and my husband was tired because he just didn't sleep much. And he had to get my little sister up, so he slept for maybe 3 hours and then went to go get her ready, and I just laid in bed and slept and slept and slept and slept. And oh no, he didn't have to take my meds because they gave me my meds at the hospital. They were actually able to hand my husband the meds that went home with me. So my nausea medication, my pain medication, all went home with me that night. And we didn't realize that I had an allergy to adhesive tape. I had a bad reaction to adhesive tape, and I mean bad. Had pics of allergic reaction. But yeah, I had an allergic reaction, bad allergic reaction. I'm gonna actually show you now. I'm still wearing my sweater from before surgery, and yes, I still have clothes from before surgery as well, which, as you can tell, because these hang off me. I don't know about how well the stars will come up. No, those are not scars. Ooh, I can only see certain ones because I have this stupid word thing in my face. So you can see a scar here, right there. I have a scar here, here, and here. So this is a scar here. I have a scar like right here. I have one right here. Well, you could see all of them. Yeah, so literally this one you could see barely. This one you could see a little bit. And then this tiny little one right there. Now, my stomach used to be a lot more extended. I used to be a lot fatter. But, ooh, forgot to put my sweater in my chair. I am now at 153 pounds. 153 pounds. I have lost well over 100 pounds. I feel 10 times better than I did before. My knees and my feet don't hurt like they used to. My back doesn't hurt like it used to. I can breathe without having issues. I can run more than 3 to 4 seconds without losing my breath and feeling like I'm dying. I don't feel my heart beating out of my chest when I stand up and walk around. I feel 10 times better than what I did before surgery. I will definitely say that this surgery saved my life, because if I kept going down the road that I was going down, my heart would have probably given out, because I was almost 300 pounds. 300 pounds. I haven't had a soda since November of last year. There's quite a lot of stuff that I haven't had since November of last year that I just don't miss. I don't miss the sugar. I don't miss the soda. I don't miss the fatty foods. Now, there are some foods that still make me nauseous. I call it smell nausea or food nausea. Just certain smells make me excessively nauseous. Biting into certain foods will make me nauseous. And I don't know if that's just a me thing or if that's an everybody thing. I've noticed that I have certain texture issues. They say that that's common with the surgery. And they will tell you that your taste buds are going to change. So the things that you liked before surgery, you might not like after surgery. The things that you did not like before surgery, you might like after surgery. No, I didn't like seafood before surgery. Like sushi and stuff, I hated that stuff before surgery. I can eat it now. I can stomach it now. I don't eat it a lot now, but I can still stomach it. Pastas are hard for me to eat. So they suggest you not to eat pasta because that is very starchy foods. So I've learned that those are very hard for me to eat. Like they sit really heavy. It feels like it sits right here, just like a brick right here. And it is an uncomfortable feeling. So I would just say, if you're thinking of getting this surgery for yourself, do your research, and if you feel you can handle it, go ahead. It's not a hard surgery. Sorry. It is not a hard surgery. It is a process, it's a long process to do. Before your surgery, you've got to do a lot of doctor's appointments before surgery. So that is why I say if you can deal with the process, go ahead, because it is a long process to the surgery. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, not at all. I will recommend this surgery to anyone who feels they need it. If you feel you need it, please check into it. I'm glad I checked into it and did it. I had full support from my family and from my husband. My husband knew I wanted to do this for me, for my health issues, because I didn't know that I was borderline diabetic until I was starting to get this surgery. I was borderline diabetic. If I had waited any more to get this surgery, I would have been fully diabetic. I am so happy that I did this surgery. I am healthier than I've ever been in my life. So much healthier. And I feel like I have expanded my life to where I know I'm going to live further than what I was going to live before. Because if I had stayed the weight that I was going to before surgery, I was going to gain more weight, and that would have put more strain on my heart. And my heart was already going through a lot of strain. At 30 years old, I was almost 300 pounds. At 30 years old. I am happy that I did this surgery. So very happy I did this surgery. And I would never change it for the world. Ever. I would never change it. So if you want to do this surgery, please go ahead and do this surgery, because if you truly think that you need this for your health, please do it, because I will recommend it. It's changed my life, and I am so happy that I did this surgery. I am truly, truly happy I did this surgery, because I am healthier than I have ever been. I am no longer borderline diabetic. I can breathe a lot better. I feel a lot better. I am not in pain. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was educational, and I hope you guys can show some positivity on this video and share it around. Alright, bye guys.